I'm going to show you how a college dropout got an $80K remote job in 27 days. The course at ISB University says 90 days or less, but I did in 27 days, and I'll show you some receipts and some shortcuts in this video. I'll walk you through optimizing your LinkedIn profile, your resume, your cover letter, your job references. I even prepare you with some interview questions that you're going to be asked, as well as some to ask them as well. The courses have follow-up scripts, checklists, worksheets, templates with the lessons. And we're all about entrepreneurship and time and location freedom. So what we do is use these jobs as a way to provide capital and finance our small businesses. So I'm excited about this one. It's been highly requested. So let's get started. Welcome to the call. Today we're talking about entrepreneurs and jobs. How to get an $80K a year remote job in 90 days. That is not arbitrary. That has happened. We have receipts, and it's happened more than once. But the information can go for double that amount or half that amount. Double the amount of days or half that. So, we bag on jobs a lot. Like the guy behind me, we work on these cubicles. We get stuck in a rut and it doesn't fit our personality. And so we end up bagging on these jobs. And it's very difficult for us to live the life as entrepreneurs and still find a way to get jobs, keep jobs, or supplement jobs for our personal expenses. Personal expenses is one thing that we use jobs for as entrepreneurs, as everyone does, but especially as entrepreneurs, we have more than just our personal expenses, and the jobs is to cover our personal expenses. But what we're introducing in this course is the concept of using the job as a tool for your business. And you're going to live off, say, a portion of your income, and then the other portion of your job income will be a way to finance or provide capital for your business. Okay? So that's why we want to talk about why get a job as an entrepreneur. Because you're going to be going through the same steps as the cubicle people, as the 9-to-5ers. But the difference is the mind state, right? We're using this as a tool to fund our business. The job is secondary. And there's a lot of benefits that come from that mind state. You're not extra hung up on every move at the job. You're more picky in picking your job. You're not as nervous when going through the interview process because you understand that this is an interview on both ends. And you need a position that will fit around your schedule of growing your business and providing your own success. All right, so we talked about separating your personal expenses, which we'll talk about a lot, and funding your own business. $80,000 a year. If you're living off 30 and you get an $80,000 a year job, that is a way to provide $50,000 or $40,000 capital for your business without giving out ownership, without going somewhere and getting loans, without applying and praying for grants and things of that nature. Health insurance is another big thing that entrepreneurs go through. And just getting a job will help provide health insurance, not just for you, but possibly your family as well. Entrepreneurs I've known would work just for health insurance. The business covers everything else. You can network with people in the industry, or you can actually learn from your job and apply it to your business, because we're selective with the positions and the companies that we go with, right? All right. So also what you'll be learning is the hiring process. You're going to be hiring one day in your business. So why not learn firsthand, live right there? This is a course on the hiring process for your business, for your future business. And once you do get on in a position, you'll be able to take notes of the dynamics of the team and operational workflow of the business. and apply it to your business. Most likely you're going to be working for a business that's more successful than yours, and they have some things that's more set up as far as teams. For instance, when I worked as a marketing manager, we used Asana, and this is a FinTech 500 company. And we use Asana on our teams, and the marketing team used Asana. We had training on it. And that's just one of many softwares that you can also turn around and apply Asana to your business and use that within your business for your network or your teams or your outsourced or your projects or your content. There's a lot of ways to use Asana, and that's just one software. Say you're a graphic designer and you get hired as a graphic designer for a company. You'll be able to learn things. You'll be able to maybe get certifications, take courses or something through your new company, or learn new strategies that you can apply to your business. Maybe even get access to something. So those are crossover skills. So you can learn. So these are the benefits of a job for entrepreneurs specifically. And we need to keep these in mind throughout the whole process and as you work there, because we'll speak on later how to get lost in the sauce, and you can kind of deviate from your original goals. You are a business and your business is a business. You are now operating two businesses. They both have income. They both have their own expenses. The more you mix those, the worse it is for you. You need to keep those separate as much as possible, not just for like taxes and accounting, but for growth, for your business to be able to, again, reinvest in itself in its own growth, as opposed to spending it on your nights out. You go earn your own money and spend that money on that. Don't pull it from your business until you're able to be a W-2 paid employee and the business pays you enough money to cover that stuff. You're going to have to keep it separate. Okay. And you can learn it. You can learn the hard way. You can learn the short way. And we're going to talk about it more, and we have a course on it as well. So it's no big deal. We kind of walk you through it. The Great Resignation has been around for a while now. There are positions available. They want to get you back on the plantation, as I call it, but we need to use it as a tool. What type of jobs to pursue? All right. Remember, the job is secondary to the business. Okay. That's what the mind state deal was. That's why it's different for us than most people when applying and going through this process. We're selecting jobs that allows us the hours to work on our business. So if we don't want to select a job that makes you stay late often and uses all your time and stresses you out. Some jobs are inherently stressful. Even if you're not an easily stressed out person, you can get a stressful job. Some jobs are and they tell you that right off the bat. Hey, this is going to be a stressful job. That'll have you up at night. That'll keep you from working on your business in the weekends and in the evenings and in times that you have to. So you need to be aware of that up front. We got a worksheet, and I'll show you that in a minute, of how to figure out how much money you need to be making off of this job. For some of us, $80,000 is too much. And the reason why is because the $80,000 job comes with too much luggage and doesn't really allow you to apply effort to your business. Okay, if you find one that doesn't, then roll with that. But you need to keep that in mind. And not just the hiring process, but the whole job as a business class. You're a business owner. You're playing undercover boss, except you're the boss of a different company and you're playing undercover for a different company. Other than that, it's the same thing. Okay? All right, so boost your personal brand. Your personal brand is a secret weapon. Okay? A lot of people use their personal brand even outside of their business. We have these businesses that are built around our personal brand anyway. So the way jobs will boost your personal brand is to give you a little bit more credibility. For instance, I was just recently an email marketing manager for a FinTech 500 company. multi-million-dollar company, sent out millions of emails daily, and I was the manager over part of a major marketing team. What it does, it boosts my personal brand. It lets you know that there's credibility behind the things that I teach, and based off my experience in the market, and there's others that can vouch for that. Okay, evaluate your skills. Now, this is always when pursuing a job or freelancing, which is a possibility. You want to evaluate what skills you already have. Student members, if you look into the course resources, you'll see lots of worksheets. Okay, and what they'll do, they'll help you figure out how much money you need to make, how much is too much, how much is not enough. Same things with your hours. It'll help you evaluate your skills. Again, it's on the worksheets, but we're going to get on Indeed, a Career Builder, and some of the others, LinkedIn and Google, and we're going to search for some jobs that fit you. And what we're going to do is take note of these jobs. We're going to write down the job titles. We're going to write down some of the keywords that are in the job descriptions, and we're going to put into the worksheets. Researching job openings. Researching the ideal jobs is obviously critical, but it's something that we're doing early and we need to do before we start actually applying. So don't apply. Follow the steps that we have here in the course and in the worksheets. You're going to write down job description keywords. And what we mean by job description keywords is if you often see needs good communication, needs verbal and written communication, needs strong management skills, needs typing skills, whatever those positions that we've picked have similar, we're going to write those down in our keyword section. We're also going to take note of the pay rates if available. The experience and education requirements. Again, we're looking for something that's in these jobs that are all similar. And we're going to save those URLs to those specific jobs, and we're going to put them into the worksheets. Free certifications look good on resumes and LinkedIn profiles to potential employers. They tell them that you are trying, that you might not have the money to get the fancy certification, but you are keeping up to date, and you're attempting to stay up to date with your industry. Okay, so we're always going to look for free related certifications or cheap. I mean, if there's a paid course, there's someone giving a free course somewhere. Okay, I'm sure there's a free version of this course somewhere, right? I can't vouch for the quality. Use the course worksheets to save the URLs, to write down your job description keywords. Okay. Now, your personal brand is how you attract your job. And we put this package together, use the worksheets. We put this package together with your LinkedIn profile, your resume, and your cover letter. And we just have them on deck. And you're going to attract the job, especially LinkedIn. You get your LinkedIn profile, like we're going to show you, they're going to be reaching out to you and they're going to ask for your resume. We're going to have a resume on deck. Then they're going to say, go to our website and apply. You're going to have your resume and your cover letter, custom made for that particular position. There's a couple other things we're going to have on deck. We're going to have our references list on deck. We're going to have any type of portfolio or recommendations on deck. We're going to have questions for our interviews on deck. But preparation is key. And we do a lot of this before you even apply to jobs. Notice we haven't applied to any jobs yet. And unless someone has reached out to you via LinkedIn since you set up your profile and asked you to apply or for an interview specifically, we're not applying for jobs. We're still in our preparation phase. All right, we're going to create and prepare our references list. We're not going to offer it up right away. We're going to have it ready and available upon request. There's a prep that's needed. We need to talk to our references and prepare them. Let them know that you're going to be used as a reference. Remind them what your resume says or what you're going to use them for, as far as when you work together and what position and how they were related to you. Okay, And there's ways to get creative with this, because I know that as entrepreneurs, we haven't worked traditional jobs. And so we're going to have to get creative with our job history. We're going to have to get creative with our education, so our resume completely. And we're going to have to get creative with our references as well. And we'll walk you through the process on that. Expect multiple interviews and multiple interviewers at once. So again, we're not used to interviewing, but nowadays, to get certain positions, you got to expect about 4 interviews, and at least one of them being a panel interview. So just keep that in mind. We don't let that rattle us, but we also make sure we use the techniques to respond via email to everybody that was on the panel, to be sure to include them in the conversation when you're doing the interview, especially via Zoom or whatever your online platform is. All right, and be prepared for, again, online interviews. We're searching for online jobs. It's the modern age. A lot of these positions are going to be, even if they're down the street, they like to do a Zoom interview. Okay, so be prepared. That means your internet, that means your camera, that means your whatever you're wearing. Even if it's from the waist up, make sure you don't have to stand up. I would suggest getting completely dressed. That also includes the background, and be aware what's in the camera and interruptions. Preparation is key. Now, for the interview, we already know what questions you're going to get asked. We just need to write it down, and we're also going to know the answers, and we're going to write it down. It's really not that hard. If you've been to a lot of interviews, you'll notice that a lot of the questions are very similar. There's a reason behind that. They get a lot of their questions from the same people, and they share it a lot, because there's the same, very similar things you want to know about people when you're hiring them. You'll find out when you start to hire that a lot of these questions are the same questions you're going to need to be asking. But the questions do veer off depending on, for one, your information and your resume, and for 2, your industry and whatever you do. Okay, so what we do is we get the 10 most likely popular questions for you in your industry, right? And we're going to write those down, and we're going to have answers, 3 to 4 sentence answers for each one. And again, this is something that doesn't take that long. We're just going to be able to look back this is not a script for you to read. This is something that you're going to be able to bring up in conversation and interview, and just be prepared for. Same thing with asking the interviewer questions. A lot of times we're caught off guard, say, no, I don't have any questions right now. I'll think of some later. Don't do that. Always have questions. Asking the interviewer questions is more important than answering questions. You can show that you're interested. You can show that you're paying attention. You can show that your competency, all within asking questions. Okay, it can save your whole interview. So keep that in mind. Never go through an interview without asking questions. All right. And then the reason we got 10 here is to cover the multiple interviews. So it feels like a lot, it shouldn't. It's not that much, and it's going to be easy for you to recollect. And it's over the course of multiple interviews. We're just doing our preparation right now. Okay. So just keep that in mind. And what does that say? Use course worksheets. All of these is going to be in the course worksheets. It's not, we already did the work for you. As for the student members, I know that there are plans to release this to the public. And so if you're not a student member, check out the .com here and enroll. But for the student members, check out the course worksheets, check out the resources and the downloadable material. So that's what I'm referring to. Again, I didn't want to get too much into detail, but we already know what are your 3 biggest weaknesses, or what is your biggest weakness. It's almost in every interview question. And we're going to get into detail, specifically how to twist a strength into a weakness, or not so much of a weakness into a weakness, to where no one feels bad about it. They completely understand. And we'll do the same thing with the whole list of questions. We'll have something ready for you, okay? And even with the harder ones. What are your salary expectations? A lot of companies try to politely lowball you and get this question nice and early. We're going to show you how to handle that. And there's some things that we're going to need to ask based off the information that we have on the position. Again, use the course worksheets. Preparation is key, part 2. Now that we've done all the research, we found out the stipulations and the list of what we're going to use to search the jobs. And then we found the jobs that fit. We're going to pick our favorite jobs from the search resources provided in the worksheets, and we're going to put it in the favorite job tracker section in the worksheet. So basically, pick your favorite jobs. Don't apply for them yet. Just copy the URL and put it in the favorite job tracker. And what that is we're just listing our favorite jobs, and we're going to track the progress. We're going to see when we applied. We're going to see when they replied back. We're going to keep track of the process. Okay. And we're going to customize the resume and cover letter for each job. And that is key. There's no general resumes or cover letters. Okay? We're not going to do any of that. That's a waste of time. You're usually competing with someone that's more specific. So this is how you stand out. You customize them specifically for the job, but you use your first one as a template, and then you apply to similar jobs, so you don't have to edit it as less, but they are customized for each one. And then if it's a different job that's not similar, we just edit it more. Okay, don't let that stop you. And again, what we do is we use in our course worksheets. What we do is give you a sample for you to get started off of, for your resume as well as your cover letter. All right. Now we are ready to apply for our favorite jobs. On our favorite jobs tracker list in our worksheets, these are the jobs that we're going to apply for, and we're going to keep track of the process. So the key is a few steps. First, we want to apply on the company website. Don't apply on the search engine website if possible. Okay, sometimes you don't have an option. But whenever you find a job, go look up the website of the company and apply directly. Second, remember that the jobs listed on these larger platforms have more competition. So you go to Indeed, you go to Career Builder. What we're doing is trying to find these specific jobs and then go to the specific website and apply. But there's also search engines that's more specific to your industry, that's more specific to remote jobs, and we can find those that are not on Indeed. We want to find some jobs that are not on Indeed, not on Career Builder, not on LinkedIn, not in Google Jobs, where we have 1,000 applicants. Some of these other places that are listing their jobs and they only get 10, 15, 20 applicants. We don't want to miss out on that. All right, and we want to follow up with the company recruiters on LinkedIn. Every time you apply, look the company up on LinkedIn, find either the recruiter or a recruiter. We're going to give you a template, and we're going to follow up with them on LinkedIn as a message. And we'll let you know what the message is specifically. It's just letting them know that you applied and seeing if there's anything else that they need. And then we're going to use our favorite job tracker to keep track of the progress and the process of these particular positions. And then repeat until you're officially hired. This is key for multiple reasons. But you're going to keep applying, keep listing new jobs, keep searching, and until you're officially hired, until you've accepted an offer. Okay? If you have things lined up, you have interviews lined up, you got a lot of things in the funnel, you don't want to get complacent and sit back and you figure, I'm about to get hired on one of these, or this job is about to hire me, or anything like that. You want to be able to come in confidently at all of your interviews, knowing that you have other jobs in the pipeline. You don't have to take this job. You don't have to be cornered into a bad pay or anything like that during the interview. You don't have to take any type of, I won't say disrespect, but anything that makes you feel too uncomfortable, like you would if this was your only opportunity. You'll be in there with more confidence as well. So keep that in mind. And then not only that, things fall through. A lot of people don't get jobs that they thought they was going to have. They had a good interview, or they have an interview lined up and something gets pulled back, or you get hired and then something happens and then they take the job away. You should have things in the funnel. It's a lot easier after the fact to go back and say, hey, thanks for reaching out, but I've already accepted an offer somewhere else. Just keep me in your database in case I need to reach out to you or something like that. It's a lot easier and a lot better to have that. And now you actually are working at your new position with jobs on deck, which is another level. Okay. So repeat this process until you've officially been hired. All right. So that's very important. And the favorite job tracker section, you can download it through the course worksheets. All right. Preparation is key. Part 3. I told you there's a lot of preparation here. This time, the preparation is for the interviews. Prepare for up to 4 interviews. Prepare what you're going to wear. You have to prepare your camera shot. You have to be worried about your background, your internet, your camera, how you look on camera, things of that nature. Okay, so this is before every interview. You know, review your job. Review the job description of the job that you're going to be interviewing. Review your own resume, because 50% of the questions that they ask you are going to be from them looking at your resume, asking you about gaps in between jobs, asking you about what you did at this position or this position. And then review the Q&A. That's going to be, you know, in our resource material, where we already have a list of the questions that they're going to ask, and we already have the list of the answers that we're going to give. And not only that, we're going to have the list of the questions that we ask them. Review your presentation. Some positions require a presentation, if it's a creative or visual or something like that. One of the questions they're going to ask you is, why do you want to work here? Why do you think this is a good fit? So you need to research the company to be able to answer those questions. To research the interviewer, maybe look them up on LinkedIn. That's something of more of a sales tactic to build a little rapport. Maybe y'all went to the same school. Maybe you're from the same hometown. Maybe you know what the weather's like where she is or he is. So you want to research the company and the interviewer. And then understand that this is not just a one-way interview. You need to interview them. You are using them to fund your business. You need to understand if they're going to be stressful. You know, what type of company they are, and if you're going to use them for this particular way. And then repeat each interview. Simple. All right, for those who's watching the playback, I just want to go through quickly some of the other things that's in the course. I know this is getting kind of long, so I just wanted to browse through some things. I know we have a list of important tips. We're going to help you walk you through preparing for your drug screen, whether you're dirty or not. Okay, we got you covered. We also know that there is challenges behind background checks, especially those with unique work experiences or entrepreneurs. We walk you through scripts for interview follow-ups with all your interviews. And we definitely go through salary negotiations. So we never accept the first offer, and we walk you through the process on getting higher salary and being confident. There's also a walkthrough for after you start the job, how not to get lost in the sauce and etc. on staying focused on the goals. And then, as we always do, there's a mind state walkthrough. There's always a Q&A section at the end of the videos. You can do that now. And there's also forms for student members. All right, so here's the proof here. This is me, January 19th and November 28th. So that's December 28th. That's less than 2 months. Where I reposted my original post where I started to look for an $80K a year job. And the intention was to use it as a source to start up funding. So I was doing this as an example. I needed to document the process for the students. And then The original course again says 90 days, but we did it within 60. We did it within 30. So I just wanted to give a little proof there on some dates, November 28th through January 19th. This is an inbox. This is a screenshot where you get the original message on 12/8/21 from a recruiter, and by 12/29/21, I had an offer on the position. So you can see the 12/29 at the top, and on the last one you can see the 12/8 message at the bottom from the recruiter before even applying for the position. Okay, just from LinkedIn updates. All right, and this is a little bit about the steps after you accept the position and or you get offered the position. Background check, you have a drug screen, and complete onboarding tasks. Okay, so this is an email that came from the company. I know everyone was wanted to see the receipts, as they say, or the proof, but to me it's more important on seeing the process and knowing knowing what to expect so that you're confident. All right, so if you're watching this on YouTube, do like and subscribe to the channel. If you're in the ISB University and one of our student members, be sure to contact us with any questions, either in the forum or directly. All right, have a good day.